Just paid a visit at Scania, interviewing some marketing director. No, that wasn't her title actually.
Nästa, Stockholm central. Byte till övriga pendeltågslinjer och tunnelbana.
It's Friday. 5 days has gone by with this weekly challenge, staying more productive by eliminating time thieves and focusing on one thing at a time. And that is what I have been doing. The thing is, this week didn't really turn out the way I thought it would when I planned out this weekly challenge, because it's usually the implementation of these habits are usually most effective when you have a certain workflow. You know you're gonna work in front of a computer, or you know you're gonna work and study books or something when you need to sit down and work a lot. Put in that effort in a structured way. When you're out on the run all the time and you're all of the time you're presented with what needs your attention, what needs your focus. You don't have to plan out what you're gonna do, because it's there. You're doing an interview, you're meeting that person, you're delivering that. If it's that kind of a work environment, or as it has been for me this week, then you don't really need this kind of system in the same way, because you're being productive just by doing what you need to do all the time. So in that sense, this weekly challenge hasn't been implemented to its full extent in the way I hoped it would. But then again, the times when I've actually been sitting down and working, it has been a tremendous difference. I got tons of work done that usually took me much longer, just because I focused on one thing and I put out all these bad time thieves. I have found that when I excluded the email and the messenger this week, it just gave me such a focus. I was able to get so much done by doing this, and especially to not go in and check my mail during the work sessions. It's hard to believe how much that actually do for the overall picture, because it only takes a minute to check the mail, but when you all of the time interrupt your focus, it takes you away. And not only that, so many times you'll actually got a mail that takes your focus and moves it to something else, and now you're all of a sudden has changed direction. And the thing is, you make this direction change without valuing if it's the correct direction change to make. Probably the thing you were doing were much more important than your new objective, because someone emailed you and you need to reply that person. Most of the times that will only gain it's something that is for his or her agenda. You're just a little player in that game. But when what you were doing was actually something that contributed to your game in such a bigger way than this small little thing that now is eating away all your energy and willpower that should be focused on this more important. And that's the same thing with excluding the time thieves as the Facebook and the Instagram and such stuff like that. It opens up the external world and let things come up that can steal your focus, not for the few minutes you actually are checking the things, because it doesn't take that much time to just check your Facebook. But it is when those external things come in and grab that attention and makes you do something else for I don't know how long. That's the danger. That's why it's so important to close the doors for external things to come in when you're doing what needs to be done. And the thing with just like talking with friends on Messenger, that also it doesn't only takes the focus and energy away from the main important part, it also makes you feel like you're actually hanging out with your friends and you're socializing, but you're only texting with each other and you're not actually interacting and investing quality time with each other. I mean, instead of spreading out half an hour of interacting with each other on Facebook, if you instead put that half an hour to seeing each other face to face or talking to each other, that will bring so much more quality time that will build your relationship to a whole nother level. I think that's one of the bigger dangers today, that we're hanging out with so many people all the time, but we're not really hanging out with anybody anymore. Notice also is on the evenings it was so hard to follow these rules, because I needed to talk with friends concerning some things there, and I needed my email all the time because I'm going forth and back. So it didn't really work that well on the evening in terms of following the rules. But then again, the most of the purpose has been fulfilled. It has given me a structured, very productive and good day by following these rules. And then if I allow myself to have a little bit of free time in the evening, I mean, that's not the whole world. Could be if you want to stay productive during the hours you're presented with during a day, then you should really follow these rules all the time. But if you want to give yourself a little bit of a slack on the evening, if you have time to do that, then I guess you could be softer with these rules. But then again, for me, I don't want to give away those hours just because it's evening time. It could be just as effective and give me just as much value. So that's all about what you want to do with your life. I mean, I have high ambitions. I want to take my life this far, and that means I need to work my definition of work. I want to take myself further every day that goes. That means putting in the hours after hours. But that's just me. That's up to you. But I am for real gonna continue to work like this. And it is hard. It's so easy to forget. That's why it's so important to just, as soon as you are working, grab up your phone or whatever you're using to time this. Because, you have to time it. That may seem as a ridiculous thing to do. But it's a habit that creates the habit of working on one thing at a time. You know, when you put the alarm in, that's your cue to saying, okay, now I'm in work mood. Now I'm gonna do this and only this for 30 to 50 minutes. That's what that is. It's a signal. It's the cue for the productivity focus to start. Focus on one thing. So that's the weekly challenge number 5. I hope you learned something. I sure as hell have learned a whole lot, and it's been a great week. It really has. Yeah, with that being said, I thank you. I wish you the best of luck.